Could someone clone Adolf Hitler? Could a grieving parent bring back a child they lost? Could a billionaire make a copy of themselves? 10 years ago, those questions were science fiction. Today, they are engineering questions, and the answers are closer to yes than almost anyone realizes. The science that makes this possible is not hidden in a secret government lab. It is funded by private investors, staffed by credentialed scientists, and producing documented results right now, in plain sight. Today we trace exactly how far this science has gone, what it can already do, what it is close to doing, and what is actually standing between where we are today and a world where those three questions have a very different answer. Welcome to How Systems Work. I'm glad you're here. This channel is about pulling back the curtain on the complex systems that shape your everyday life. We break them down, trace how they actually function, examine the trade-offs built into them, and let you draw your own conclusions. No agenda, no oversimplification, just clarity. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. We publish a new system every week. Now let's get into it. Most people think cloning is something that happens in movies, but here's the reality. 25 different mammal species have already been successfully cloned. A private company right now is spending hundreds of millions of dollars to bring back animals that have been extinct for thousands of years. And the same mechanism that makes all of this possible starts with something you may have already mailed to a private company in a small plastic tube. This is the DNA system. It is moving faster than the rules designed to govern it. And today, you're going to understand exactly how. Let's start with the basics. What is DNA, and why does it matter so much? Think of DNA as the most detailed instruction manual ever written. Every single cell in your body contains the complete blueprint for building you from scratch. Not just what you look like, everything, every biological process, every inherited trait, every structural detail that makes you uniquely you. All of it encoded in a molecule so tiny that the entire instruction manual fits inside a space smaller than the period at the end of this sentence. Here's the part most people don't know. That blueprint does not need you to be alive to exist. DNA survives after death. It persists in hair, in teeth, in bones, in preserved tissue. Under the right conditions, it can survive for an extraordinarily long time. Scientists have successfully extracted and read DNA from remains that are tens of thousands of years old. Ancient humans, prehistoric animals, species that disappeared from the earth long before recorded history. That means the biological blueprint for building a living organism can exist long after that organism is gone. Think about what that means for a moment. The instruction manual for a woolly mammoth that died 15,000 years ago still exists in preserved remains, frozen in the Siberian permafrost. The instruction manual for historical human beings exists in preserved remains sitting in museums and research facilities around the world right now. The blueprint doesn't expire. And science has learned how to read it, so the blueprint exists and science can read it. But how do you actually use it to create a living creature? The process is called somatic cell nuclear transfer. That sounds complicated, so let's make it simple. Every cell in your body has a control center called a nucleus. That nucleus contains your complete DNA blueprint. Somatic cell nuclear transfer takes that nucleus, that control center, out of one cell and places it inside an egg cell whose own nucleus has been removed. The egg cell doesn't know the difference. It sees a nucleus with a complete blueprint and does exactly what egg cells are designed to do. It starts building. Think of it like copying a hard drive from one computer and installing it into a brand new machine. Same information, new hardware. The new machine boots up running the original blueprint. This is not theoretical. In 1996, a sheep named Dolly became the first mammal ever cloned using this exact process. Since then, 25 different mammal species have been successfully cloned. including primates, our closest biological relatives on Earth. Each time science successfully clones a species closer to humans on the evolutionary tree, the technical question about human cloning moves one step further from impossible. Here is what the current science actually tells us. Human reproductive cloning faces real technical challenges, but it faces no insurmountable biological barrier. What stands between today and a cloned human being is not biology. It is law. It is ethics. And it is the question of who controls access to the technology. Those are very different kinds of barriers. So the blueprint exists. The copying mechanism exists. Now let's look at what is already happening with both. In 2021, a company called Colossal Biosciences was founded with one goal: bring back extinct species using cloning and gene editing technology. They have raised over $400 million. They have hired credentialed scientists, and they are producing results. In early 2025, Colossal created what they called woolly mice, real living mice genetically engineered to express woolly mammoth traits: thick, shaggy fur, cold weather tolerance, woolly texture. These are not computer simulations. They are living, breathing animals expressing the traits of a creature that has been extinct for 15,000 years. Colossal has stated they expect to produce woolly mammoth hybrid calves by 2028. Now here's the question your brain has probably already been forming since the beginning of this video. If science can extract DNA from 15,000-year-old frozen remains and use it to express traits in a living animal, what else is possible? The remains of historically significant human beings sit in museums and research facilities around the world right now, preserved, cataloged, accessible to researchers. The biological barrier to using that material the same way Colossal uses mammoth DNA does not exist. The barrier that does exist is legal and ethical. And as we are about to examine, that barrier is not as solid as most people assume. Here is where we have to be honest about what we actually know and what we don't. Most developed countries have laws prohibiting human reproductive cloning, but those laws vary enormously. Some countries have no laws at all. A well-funded person or organization operating in a permissive jurisdiction faces no biological barrier and limited legal ones. The governance system built around this science has not kept pace with the science itself. That gap is real, and it is not closing fast enough. But here's the deeper question that no law currently addresses. If a human being were cloned, what exactly would we be creating? Science can copy the biological blueprint perfectly. Same DNA, same inherited traits, same physical predispositions. But a human being is not just their biology. You are the sum of every experience, every relationship, every memory, and every decision that shaped you from your first breath. None of that is stored in DNA. None of that transfers in the cloning process. A cloned human being would be biologically identical to their original, but they would be born as a completely blank, experiential slate. In every meaningful human sense, they would be an entirely new and separate person who simply happens to share someone else's biological blueprint. And here's what makes that profound rather than just interesting. Science does not yet fully understand human consciousness. We don't know with certainty what it is, where it comes from, or what it is and isn't capable of. We are developing technology that replicates the biological foundation of a human being, while having only a partial understanding of what actually makes a human being who they are. That is not a reason to stop the science. It is a reason to govern it carefully. And governing it carefully requires understanding it clearly, which is exactly what we just did. You started this video with 3 questions. Could someone clone a historical monster? Could a grieving parent bring back a child they lost? Could a billionaire make a copy of themselves? Those questions are no longer science fiction. They are engineering questions sitting inside a governance gap that the world has not yet fully closed. The science of DNA is the most powerful information system humanity has ever encountered. It carries the blueprint for life itself. And we are only beginning to understand what that means for medicine, for ethics, for law, and for what it means to be human. The woolly mammoth is coming back. The science that makes that possible does not stop at animals. And the rules designed to govern where it goes next are still being written. Now you understand what is actually at stake. That is where clarity begins. Thanks for watching How Systems Work, where we break down the hidden systems shaping your everyday life in clear, simple terms. If this helped you see the bigger picture, please subscribe, share this video, and join the conversation in the comments. We'll see you in the next breakdown.